stuff.
We good? Okay. All right, this is guaranteed to bring you right down, but we'll see. I haven't practiced it, so we'll see. Underneath the bridge, Chris punches old man. Jack watches all the kids, but now they have become his pets. And Matt has become jealous because he misses Gretchen. This is terrible. It's okay to tease us, 'cause we don't have any feelings. Time to ramble cast. Time to ramble.
Oh. I know, right? So that's. I like how your knicker-net like totally dicked you over there at the end.
It was your best one up
Did
until
it?
Yeah, just right there at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because Batman did it. Yeah, he was just like vengeance on the song. Yeah,
that was the soundtrack to the new Batman movie.
Oh, is that what that is?
The
well, I was trying
entire
to think.
song.
Yeah, around 2:00 today, I was like, I don't have a song. I can't think of anything. And I had like one potential in the back of my head. And then I went, didn't Matt say something about something in the way recently? I was like, I'll do that one. You know? And it actually was.
Anytime you can work Gretchen into a song, I think that's a winner.
I agree. Yeah.
Winner, chicken dinner.
It's so what's interesting about chords, song chords, is that when you get on the internet looking up like, hey, what are the chords of the song? Is that you're gonna get like 20 different versions from people. And the first ukulele version I came across was completely wrong. I was like, I didn't even move my mic over. It was like way over there. And then I was like, that's not sound right. That didn't seem right. And then I finally just like saw some guy in a video doing it, and I was like, oh, yep, that's it. And then
that's the ticket.
That's it.
That's that ticket. John Lovitz, right?
John Lovitz. So.
My wife, Morgan Fairchild.
Yeah, I
jealous.
Just John Lovitz in SNL. Like, I'm sure you guys get them too. Like, there'll be some random thing pops on your Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, and it says like one of the funniest SNL sketches ever. And I was like, and I'd never seen it, never heard of it.
What was it?
It was Kevin Nealon's random snow lift guy. And it was like one sketch only from like 1994. And it's kind of like, if you're skiing by yourself, because usually they always try to get two people on the lift as you're going up. And he's like the random ski guy. And he's just that guy that's like just awkward. It's very Kevin Nealon, and it's like, hey, you remember that fire we had here a couple years back, right? And the guy's like, oh, yeah, I heard about that. He's like, yeah, that was me. Everything he says is like, trying to make conversation. He's like, I'm tired of this safety rail. He just like throws it up behind him. The guy's like, what are you doing? He's like, we don't need it. We're only just a few feet off the ground. He's like, we're 60 feet off the ground. He's like, we'll be okay.
I think I remember that. I think I remember the removing the railing part. So I recently I have been on an ongoing deep dive on Dana Carvey. So listening to a lot of the podcasts that he's been on. So it's fascinating because sometimes he reminds me of Jack because he's just breaking out the same joke, just wearing it down and really just trying to hone in on maybe the perfect pitch of that one joke.
It's because practice makes perfect. Talk to me about practice. Practice? You talking to me about practice? Practice is practice.
I love Dana Carvey. Dana Carvey, if I had to pick all my favorite SNL cast members, Dana Carvey's easily in the top 3.
He followed me on my other Twitter account.
On your
we were like
but SNL is the perfect format for him, because he's that way. He was a character comedy sketch guy.
Yes.
And that's why I hate in that, like, there's a whole generation of kids or people that are even probably 30 years old who don't know who he is because it's like he never was successful really after SNL. And I hate that.
I think one of the most enjoying things about
he's still on SNL then.
One of the fun things about listening to podcasts with him is that his characters just spill out of him.
Oh yeah.
And so a lot of times his characters are combinations of different people that he knows or different people that he's picked up on over the years. And so he'll smash them together and make new ones. And so I find those scenarios and those, kind of bits that he does like to be funny.
I think we talked about this. Like that was the kind of the death nail of him and Mike Myers' relationship. One, Mike Myers is egotistical, like a lot of creative people are. He wants all the attention for himself. And, basically Dana Carvey, basically quit Wayne's World, the first one, because he had written, Mike Myers had written Garth pretty much out of the movie. And so they had to fix it in order for Dana Carvey to come back. And, there was a strained relationship there for sure, but it was,
it was almost strained
Powers.
like the
Austin
internet.
Powers was the
Go ahead. What were you going to say about Austin Powers?
But it was Austin Powers though was kind of like the death nail because Dr. Evil was Dana Carvey's
impersonation.
Impersonation.
And you can hear it because he'll still do.
Wasn't it him doing it's Dr. Evil is based on
it's
Lorne Michaels, right?
Michaels,
Lorne it's Michaels, Dana Carvey doing Lorne Michaels.
Right.
That's the thing.
That's what it is.
Because whenever I've done Johnny Carson, I'm not doing Johnny Carson. I'm doing Dana Carvey that does Johnny Carson.
Same thing. And I'm doing Phil Hartman doing
yes.
it's him doing Ed McMahon. Yeah.
It's pretty fascinating how much he breaks down comedy and how he has a very interesting mind for sure. And so on my deep dive of listening to all of these podcasts and really also kind of it's fascinating to jump in on these little time capsules of as we've gone through COVID, so. Well,
it's funny you mentioned Dana Carvey. I've been watching YouTube and the Dana Carvey show. I don't remember watching it when it was on.
Nobody.
I had kids then, but it's him and Steve Carell doing they'll go through a drive-through, order all this food, then they pay for it. And they leave without the food. Got him! And they'll go to a house and they at least it's like a snowed in house and they dig a walkway. And she goes, "Here's your money." They drive away. Got her. And they think that it's just two stupid guys, but it's just a dumb sketch, but it's so funny,
right?
That they're so serious about it.
If you have Hulu, there's a documentary called "Too Funny to Fail."
Okay.
Or Too Funny Not to Fail. I always get those two.
Dana Carvey?
And it is a documentary about the Dana Carvey show specifically, and it kind of breaks down just how it came to be, the expectations of the network at the time, the stars that were discovered on there, of course, Steve Carell, and then why am I blanking on his name?
That's what's funny.
The biggest name in late night TV right now, I guess.
God,
why can't I think of his name?
Steve
Carell and
Cohen, not Cohen.
No, but Conan does a really great interview.
Not Conan. Steve
Buscemi.
No. Well, also, I know what's his name.
If Chris was here, he would have said it.
He did the masturbating thing in front of people. He got Louis C.K. was on it.
Right.
But I'm also thinking, I know who you're thinking of. But going back to the ski lift, it's been in my head since you said it. Steve Martin had a good thing. Because if you really want to mess with someone, you get on a Colbert. Yeah, Steve Colbert. But he goes, if you really want to mess with someone, you get on a ski lift. And I'm talking to this guy like I know him. I'm mentioning him by name. He's looked at me like I'm completely crazy. His name was Rental. Oh, God. I love that kind of humor. So that's
Matt Treese also says Starburns from Community was on that show.
So. Oh, yeah.
But the documentary is worth a watch for sure. So, and if you want new Dana Carvey or just to see what he's up to, check out the David Spade.
He's great. Like
crossover podcast that they're doing called Fly on the Wall. So
Dana had like 3-4 movies that were like the only one that I like of his was Opportunity Knocks, one where he's a con man. That one's worth a watch. But it's it's not like it's like a lot of those early 90s, late 80s films where it's just a good popcorn movie to waste an hour and a half. It's not something you're going to be like, this is so good. It's just a whatever movie.
He'll randomly talk about different things. So like on one of them I was listening to, he just started talking about Master of Disguise and what went wrong with that movie, and so it's, but it's interesting because he it just comes up in passing because he's got a bit of ADD, so he jumps around from topic to topic quite a bit.
It's a shame him and
like us.
Yeah.
Shame him and Myers didn't work. Myers is such a dick because they're great together. Yeah,
too big of egos, and unfortunately, they couldn't have that Lennon and McCartney kind of push and pull. So
I agree. I do like that when he was on Saturday Night Live, when he did Head Wound Harry. Is that what it was?
That I want to say. I want to say that. I'm trying to remember. There was 2 sketches he was talking about back to back on one of the episodes, but I want to say that the sound guy at SNL said that he had never had the sound meter go that high before.
With laughing
but Head Wound Harry like blew out the sound meter, and he said that he had the wherewithal to grab the cap because the dog was
it was so jerky. Watch you see it on the sketch, like him just ripping it, the
and
dog
he improvised he improvised in that moment the line like, he must smell my dog, like, which is such a good line. It's such a
because everyone's trying. He's like
he's trying to not break because, and this is interesting because he kind of calls out like the current SNL cast a bit about this. I mean, he doesn't directly say, but he's basically like, back in my day, Lorne didn't want them to break. That was a big thing that he had, like, you don't break.
Sure.
And so the longer that you can not break, the more laughter you get out of the audience. So,
well, like, I know he probably has talked about his podcast. I know it's a story he likes to tell where his first movie opportunity, like in the 80s, it was a movie with Mickey Rourke, not Mickey Rourke,
yes.
Rooney.
Yes.
Mickey Rooney. And said Mickey Rooney was
he talks
such
about
an
this a lot.
arrogant ass.
Yes.
Like, just, and so he did it all the time. Like, like, I was the biggest star in the world. Like, because that's basically every time he would try to say something, that's what he would do. Just like, his ego was so big. Like, I was once the biggest star. That's what he would always do. Like,
yep.
Like
that's exactly it. Yeah, you're right.
And Mickey Rooney wasn't that tall, so.
And then there's one sketch of his I always liked because it just reminded me of that weird early 90s kind of like U2 melancholy kind of music, and I remember it being Phil Hartman and Sigourney Weaver and somebody else, and then he's supposed to be like this savant pianist, and they're like, come play for us. He just like sits down at the piano and he's like doing something like really nice, but he doesn't know what to play, and so he just starts going like, went to the grocery store, down to the vegetable aisle, and like, and they're all like,
you're talking about the chopping broccoli.
Chopping broccoli. Yeah, I always love that one for some reason because it's just weird, but it's so good. Yeah.
We used to sing that around this house all the time. What are you having for dinner? What do you make? Chopping broccoli.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to think of ones off the top of my head that I remember his, but there's so many good ones. I mean, everybody knows the church lady, but
yeah. So it's worth checking out. I would listen to the Conan miniseries that he does with him because he goes into a lot of his impersonations and some of his kind of more recent and best material. But there's a really funny bit that he he does where he's going back and forth between Paul McCartney and John Lennon. And it's as though Paul McCartney is telling John Lennon what's going on in the world. Like they're having kind of like an afterlife kind of moment. And John Lennon's in the afterlife. He can't see what's going on in the world, but Paul McCartney's the one relaying information. He's saying, well, they're just looking at the little mini TV on the phones. It's like a little kind of mini TV, and then all people post pictures about the sandwiches. And then John's just like, oh, and why would they want to do that? And I don't know. I don't know how he does his impersonation of John, but it's more nasally. Yeah, and
exactly.
he at some point, and I think this series that he does with Conan, he breaks out each Beatle, and he has an impersonation for each one. And he talks about how he gets to that. So he's definitely a comedy shop talker too, which is fun. So if you are interested, if I've sparked your curiosity, this is what I've been inundated with.
You wonder, did he grow up alone a lot? Because I know that
he had 3 older brothers and a younger sister. Sorry, wow. Truly I've been doing a deep dive.
So you've been stalking him.
No, I've been listening to his podcast, and he talks about his life. He's pretty open about it.
We had heart issues, right?
Yeah.
If that has come, he hasn't talked about that. So
I'm pretty sure he had a heart attack. Yeah, somewhere in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's really afraid of flying, and he's had some moments on some airplanes where he is just like he kind of starts doing some very blue comedy bits, and he says that he doesn't go blue, like he actually is kind of aligns himself as not a clean comic, but just the fact that he doesn't go, I guess, after dark. Even though he'll drop a fuck and
not Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, I guess those would be more blue. So
I mean, that's one of the things like Sinbad. I always loved Sinbad because he was hilarious. And he never swore, never told anything dirty. It was just like, but he, that's what.
Again, I've asked this 1,000 times. What happened to Sinbad? What happened? He was so fucking funny.
Yeah, he just kind of dropped off. He still tours. But that's like my sister saw him on his last tour, and that's the first thing he says when he comes on stage. He's like, "No, I'm not dead."
He got caught by the Mandela effect. Like
sure
people. Did. Yeah. People really didn't understand who he
never
was.
recovered from Jingle All the Ways with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Wasn't that it?
Yeah, there is that. That is a seminal crash movie. So
maybe that's what did him in.
Maybe. The reason why I asked if he grew up alone because I don't remember his name. I'm sorry, but the black tall skinny guy from Police Academy.
Michael Winslow.
Yeah, they did all the sound effects. I remember someone asking him one time. He's like, "Yeah, what do you want when you grow up poor in the hood and you don't have any toys or anything else? You just kind of entertain yourself." And that's kind of what got because I did that too as a kid. Like every kid does that. You start making machine gun noises and and doing voices, and that's just kind of what led him to that. And I was like, I wonder if a lot of those sketch comics like that, like Dana Carvey, it has so many characters. Like, did they just entertain themselves, or like Charlie Kaufman did that, or that's am I thinking of? Yeah, Taxi.
Oh, okay.
He just kind of entertained himself.
Andy Kaufman.
Andy Kaufman, sorry.
He did grow up poor. He did grow up poor though, and he said that his dad, like most, not everybody, but some people have dad issues, and that can be or mom issues, and that can be a thing that kind of sparks a fire or what have you. So it's funny though when he does do an impersonation of his dad. So, oh Jesus Christ, I can't talk to you about politics. That's his. That's the one thing he always says about his dad. Oh Jesus Christ! It's
like Louis Anderson had dad issues and stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. So
it's like then Mike Myers is Coffee Talk. That was his mother-in-law.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and Garth is like one of his older brothers. So, Wayne. The Dana
Carvey,
yeah. So he uses elements from that, and so he was at I guess the 40th, and he's talking to Kristen Wiig, and she's just like, but why does he have to make his face so distorted? And he's like, that's so I can get the voice,
right?
The mannerisms, and she's like, huh, and he's like, you do like 1,000 characters too.
Well, it's like,
yeah, like what do you mean? Why do I make a face like this? It's like, why do you make the face with the target woman?
Right.
Yeah.
It's just well, I mean, anything, like there's always something that triggers a character. I don't know if you guys have ever made up characters like in your head or tried to be one, but like I know, like when I'm trying,
I'm doing it now.
Jack is my character.
Well, it's like if someone says, "Can you do an Irish accent?" Like if you just ask me to do it, like just start saying, I couldn't do it, but I have to say the word "fuck" like in order to get into an Irish accent. It's like fuck every other fucking word, and then you can start doing it, and then like you can start saying things in an Irish accent. But like you have to have like that. What you're saying, like with his face, it triggers that character.
He's very much a rhythmic pentameter. Like he figures out the rhythm or the sing song, and it's like it's a certain cadence and certain words that certain characters he creates. But yeah, it's interesting too because he had such a like a friendship rivalry with John Lovitz, but where John Lovitz at least embraced Dana, like Mike Myers and Dana like kind of went their separate ways. So
I think part of being there's just some people like that. They don't want to share the limelight.
By the way, if you go back and watch some of those 90s episodes on Peacock, because you can watch a lot of the it's unfortunate.
They have them all, don't they?
They do, but like some things aren't on there. Like they don't have all of the music. So I was like, oh, I don't mind watching the music if it's old or a musician that I want to see, and those parts aren't included. And then
because they might not have the rights to the music anymore.
I assume that's what it's about.
Because there's that one sketch with Sandler and Chris Farley where they're at the pool. Yeah, and they can't. If you watch it now, it's a different song. It's not Van Halen.
Oh, the rights. Yeah.
So because I remember when I seen it about 5 years ago, I went, wait a minute, I know it was Van Halen before. And it's not.
Right. Okay.
Ooh la la.
Well, they also some of the jokes also include some things that normally by today's standards we wouldn't use those phrases, or those phrases would not fly in. Mm-hmm. So I was watching one. I was like, oh, okay.
It's the old Blazing Saddles one. Right. People talk about that.
George went guest host on one, and they're doing the Bears thing, like the Bears,
the Bears.
But it's around May, and which is getting close to Memorial Day because it's the season ender. He's on the season, and so they're talking about the Indy 500, and they're all like, "Dumb ears," because Rick Mears, they're saying Rick Mears is going to win the Indy 500. And at some point they mention San Francisco's football team, and then they all say Duck Weirs. And I was like, whoa, did not see that one coming. But yes, by 1991, that was still in fashion.
But it's funny that word is now becoming okay to say again, because like a lot of that community, it's not for people who are gay or lesbian. It's just for people who are odd. Like people who, that's why the initials keep getting longer. It's like, oh, like we're just odd, and they like the word, and so I'm like, okay, so now it's okay or not okay. Like it's just one of those things that you don't say things, just don't label people. That's what I tell people. Hold on
a second. The chat, Miami Mike is just watching Blazing Saddles for the first time.
Well, turn us off, Mike. If you're watching it for the first time, just turn us off. Don't try to listen to us while you're watching it.
Now, we've talked about this before, though. Like, it's not my favorite Mel Brooks. It's always between Young Frankenstein and History of the World Part 1 for me. But
it is Young Frankenstein all the way for me.
Okay.
Because there is only one person I want to roll in the hay with. That scene every time.
My dad has the biggest crush on Gar.
Nice knockers. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Is it nice knockers or big knockers?
No, nice knockers.
Nice knockers.
No, what? It's what knockers.
What
That's
knockers?
It. Because the handles are so big. Like,
my favorite line is though, put the candle back. Put the candle back. It's like in High Anxiety. People will go, "What's High Anxiety?" But that was where he was. My favorite thing. He keeps asking the bellhop for the newspaper, and he goes, "Can I get that newspaper?" So finally, he's in the shower. He goes, "Here's your newspaper." He's stabbing like psycho. And all the ink is going down the drain, and you're like going, "Oh my god, that's funny." But a lot of people haven't seen it. That's okay.
Yeah. Has anybody seen a movie called Chris? It never is released on time. Yeah. It usually shows up. So anyway,
he is me and Mike saying there's a lot of cringe moments. Not when I watched it.
Oh, he's talking to Sherry because Sherry's asking, "Does it still hold up?" And Mike says it's a lot of cringe moments, but that's
I gotta be honest with you. I still laugh at it, even though I'm probably not supposed to admit.
Yeah, we know what kind of things you laugh at, Jack. I mean, if Chris was here, he'd be calling out your shit for like what you sent in the chat.
That was I was like going, "What the hell is that?" I tried to delete it. I'm like going, "The hell is that? Where'd that come from?" It's not my fault. My phone is half green. I don't.
Okay.
It was supposed to be an Irish dad joke, and
that was not an Irish dad joke.
No, it was not. It's not something I even laughed at. It's not something I would laugh at.
Oh, I know that is so not like something that you would normally know.
Because when I didn't even notice it first, I go, "Hey, what the hell did I send?" I go, "Yeah, well, that's not funny." I go, "That's wrong." Anyway, that's the one area I don't cross. So.
I just can't believe that it was like thin blue line, like anti thin blue line. It was just so weird.
I apologize for it. I said I'm sorry.
I'm joking. It didn't have anything to do with thin blue line.
I said don't watch it. I said don't watch it.
Well, and then I had to watch it. It's kind of like one of those.
I know.
Don't click on this link because you might see tits. Okay.
You think?
Like you just said ice cream. Of course, I'm going to click on this thing.
You think Chris got stabbed today?
Why is that? You got some knowledge?
It is the Ides.
Oh. The Ides of Apple?
Of March. Never mind. No one likes their Caesar.
but I gotta be honest with the dad joke channels on I have the iPhone 11. I'm almost able to. We've just been holding out so I don't have to pay for a new phone. I have like another month and a half on my contract. So a lot of times when guys will send an email, I'm like going, "Okay, what is a text?" I'm like going, "I don't know what that is."
What is a text?
What is a text?
No, I can't read that because it goes right down the middle. I'm trying to figure out what the words are. I go, I don't care.
Me love you. I don't know what that next word
I don't
is.
know.
I guess I'm going to click on this.
I don't know. I guess I'll go watch Full Metal Jacket to figure it out. But
such a good movie.
I thought you were going to say Blazing Saddles again.
No.
I love Kubrick, but Full Metal Jacket's such a good movie.
It's an excellent movie.
Joker. It's one of those. It's basically two movies. It's just you have the first part, which is a movie to itself, and then the second part. And I tend to like the first half better than the second half, but they're both really good. It's just
what's he have on his helmet? He has a peace sign.
Peace sign and a Born to Kill.
Born to Kill.
Some kind of sick joke.
Yeah. Get with the program.
Yeah. And that was a joke
and Jack's dad from Lost is in it.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. But that was a meme going around last year. I think it was like
John Terry.
Okay. Who was the best Joker? And then Matthew Modine. It's like he's the best Joker.
That's another guy that just kind of went. He was in everything.
Yeah, but he's still in stuff.
Well, that Stranger Things really helped bring him back. You know? So.
But you got to wonder, did they? He just decided, okay, I'm just tired of acting. I'm tired of auditioning. I'm tired of the whole crap. I've made enough money. I don't have to do it. I don't know. I agree with John. That Stripes is a great military movie.
Lighten up.
Lighten up, Francis.
Speaking of like stuff, I don't know if you guys watched it or not. It just debuted, I think Friday. Was the new it's a new Apple TV, Apple Plus show with Samuel L. Jackson, like the last days of, I don't know his name, but it's the last days of something, and it's really good.
The last days of Malcolm X, the last days of
no, it's just a generic name. It's his name.
The last day of this podcast.
Last day,
but it's probably one of Samuel Jackson's best acting for sure.
Really?
I'd be surprised if he doesn't get an Emmy nod for this.
Because I'm trying real hard.
One take, Samuel.
I'm trying real hard.
Yeah.
One take, Samuel.
And what it's about so far is that he's an older man in Atlanta and he has dementia. And the first 2 episodes are basically.
This sounds really funny.
It's not funny. It's good, but
so funny.
You see, he just lives in an apartment that's just full of crap. Like a hoarder would, be. And the first thing, someone knocks on the door, and he's like, "Who is it?" And it's his nephew, and who has to it takes him on his weekly runs. Like, oh, we're going to the bank, we're going to the grocery store, blah blah blah. And then the next episode, someone else knocks on the door, and you have anxiety a lot watching the show because he doesn't know who anyone is, and you don't know if someone's there to rob him, take advantage of him. You don't know what's going on, and then there you go. Chris Dorian said it.
Exactly what he said.
Yeah,
Ptolemy Gray. Is that how you Ptolemy?
Ptolemy.
Yeah. Ptolemy.
Yeah.
Pterodactyl.
Is that the gray matter in your brain that causes?
That's his name.
Dementia?
But at the end of the second episode,
you were going deep.
His nephew had got him a doctor's appointment with this guy who works with that. It's an experimental drug that's supposed to bring back like everything.
Oh.
And so that's kind of where it leaves you at the end of episode 2. And so far, I'm really liking it. Because it's just like I have to pause it because it does give me anxiety, but I like it. Yeah. But that's me though. Anything that's kind of like.
I mean, I thought Station 11 kind of had some moments like that for me. Where it was just like, oh, this is a little intense. Like I'm not going to watch this right before bed. I'm going to, buffer it with something else.
And then of course I'm almost done with season 2 of Ozark, and that's a good show. We talked about it last week, but I wish Chris was here. I could thank him.
I wish Chris was here too.
If you like Ozark, you should watch Breaking Bad.
I will. Because last season of
Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul is this year, so
let the experiment begin.
Yeah.
Is this last season though one of those seasons where they split it into?
They
thirds?
Probably will. Yeah, that's what they're doing with Ozark for this season. Look, there's last season for Ozark, and they're doing 14 episodes instead of 10. They split it 7 and 7.
It's like Marvelous Miss Maisel. I've been watching. I don't know if you've seen that.
No, I know it, but I haven't seen it.
It's hilarious. It's very good and very funny. But I was like, we're watching. I go, wait, is this the finale? There's only 8 episodes, and we forgot there's only 8 episodes in every season. And there hasn't been a new. I go, when was the last time? It was 2019 was the last time season 3 was released. This was season 4. I said, well, it's got to be because of COVID. But you figure, okay, I better not have to wait 2 years for the next one.
It's just like not that it's a great show or anything, but The Witcher, on Netflix, same thing. Like there's so many people that are like, oh my God, like, because I was like, I can't wait because the second season just dropped, in December. And people are all like, oh God, when's season 3 coming out? I was like, probably 2 more years like it was this last time. So you had to wait 2 freaking years to get, another season. But then it's like what we were talking about, like, Stranger Things, season 3 was in 2019, and it's crazy. Like,
we're in the entertainment lag, of COVID, where we had.
And now China's going through another uptick.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm trying not to think about that right now.
It's done.
I just said to my Cindy a couple days ago, I go, when's the last time you heard anything about COVID?
Yeah, it vanished. Yeah.
And it's like
we're on a nuclear war now, Jack.
Yeah, that does. I have my desk. I'm good for duck and cover. And if anybody needs some training on duck and cover, I'm an expert because growing up in the 60s,
turtle shell.
Yeah, I was really good at duck and cover. So if you want to survive,
if anyone has a lead-lined refrigerator, get in that.
You don't need that. You just jump.
It saved Indiana Jones. It will work.
No, you just jump under the desk and go like this. Duck and cover.
Yeah. No, there is a movie or documentary called The Atomic Cafe, and it's worth a watch for any.
I think I've seen that.
Any young generation who does not know what it was like to experience the Cold War at all. It's actually entertaining and funny because of how ridiculous the shit that governments tell people. It's like, get under kindling, you'll be fine from a nuclear bomb.
I still remember as a kid, could have been still in elementary school, one of the teachers saying, now remember San Diego is one of probably the targets because of naval bases and stuff. And I'm like going,
yeah.
So that just freaked me out. You're
That's like the people.
That's why I moved to Raleigh.
It's like the people that live near Yellowstone. It's like if that thing blows, like you're just fucked. Yeah. You're done. Like that's it. It's just. I mean, the only joy is that you're one of the first people
outside of the death zone circle. If Yellowstone goes up, the immediate death. Like I will still die, but I won't die immediately.
Right.
So you got that going for you.
Well, most people will die of the slow winter that takes place after the Yellowstone super volcano goes. So. It's better, I guess, to be like in the blast zone.
What's the estimate on that?
It's basically like the West Coast is fine if it erupts, but the majority of everything east of Yellowstone, you're pretty much fucked.
It's like I want to go on a job predicting end of the world earthquakes because you always hear we're due for a big one. It's like you can never be wrong, right? There's going to be a huge earthquake. Soon.
Yeah.
They say it all the time. You're like going.
I think I shared this with Jack maybe off. This was like a post show kind of thing. But on my 23andMe, I get all of this information. One of them was
earthquakes.
No, it was about my hairline and what the chance of me having hairline loss early in life or at all, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, it was 50-50. It was the most like bullshit, like what? Like 50-50. The best we can give you 50-50. I don't know.
You got a coin? Yep.
Other things they were like way in on. They were like, you got a 90% chance. You're good, kid. You're not gonna get this or
Well, Cindy always said that cilantro tastes like soap. She doesn't like it because it tastes like soap. Yeah. And in her thing was cilantro will taste like soap to you. Yeah. But she's always said that.
Wow. So that was
I still eat it, but like it does taste like soap.
I don't taste the soap.
I can't taste it at all. I just eat it. I mean, I had it today. We had
I have like 43% Neanderthal gene or something like that.
Yeah, most Europeans do.
I think
no, it's like it's 40. I'm 43% out of people that studied. I have 43% more Neanderthal, but everybody has like 2%, I guess. But you can go up and above that or below that. Don't listen to us. We're just a podcast.
I find it funny. Like I think we talked about this before. It changes all the time. Well, how does it change?
More data.
Yeah, I get
I mean, just like
okay.
You actually say it right.
What?
Data.
Data.
Word. Yeah.
Data.
There's a whole generation that calls it data, and that's because of Star Trek.
I call it data.
Huh.
Yeah.
And I'm not because of the the Android.
I call it data.
Data, tomato.
I call it data because it's only then with pure data that we can take a commercial break. I don't know. That was a really dumb transition there.
No, I liked it. I knew you were going that way, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Sherry apparently liked my song. She liked it so much of Matt's background harmonizing.
I wish I could have provided more. So, in fact, if we could just take that song and stretch out those notes and maybe, I don't know, make a instrumental soundtrack just based on that one song for the entire movie. I got to see the Batman last week. We podcasted
last week.
Yeah, we podcasted on Tuesday. I watched it on Wednesday.
Well, that's why you didn't want to be spoiled.
My review of it is that I liked it. I really enjoyed the movie. I liked that it had multiple parts, and although the biggest criticism is that it was a little long.
Yeah, it is. There was
don't let Jay hear you say that.
I walked out of there saying, brood faster. Walk quicker. Like, there were moments where I was just like, you could just, we're just walking through this, like just move, go. Or just, like the grumpy parts. Like, I'm like, we could have sped up the grumpy part a little bit more. But overall I enjoyed it. It was a fun addition to the whole Batman universe, Batverse.
Yeah, like I said, I gave it a solid 83 out of 100. Not a bad film, but just not
it's definitely not your kid's Batman.
No.
Like it's a bit more, it's a grittier, darker.
It's not Adam West.
No. I just think that the concept of the Riddler and some of the things that he does to certain people in the movie are just, it's just like, I wouldn't take my son to go see it. Oh, hey, let's go see this,
I thought Paul Dano did a great job as the Riddler. I thought, because I know that nowadays they're going for realistic, like what would, you wouldn't be wearing a big bright green suit. I got you, But then I thought
with little question marks on it.
A little question, all over. It's like, that's a dead giveaway.
What is the Riddler? We can't find him.
But I thought, I thought it was still a little really, you just put him in a gimp mask. I'm like, all right, couldn't have thought of something else better than that. Come on.
Yeah, and then to put the glasses on him too is such a dead giveaway too. Like having the glasses. It's like,
I thought no one would know who he is.
I thought Gotham, the show Gotham, did the Riddler perfect. I love the origin story of the Riddler in the TV show Gotham and how they did that story arc. And the Penguin and the Riddler in Gotham were the best things about that show, in my opinion.
Okay.
Up until I did like it. I agreed with you.
I did like the Penguin that they introduced in this storyline, and I liked the whole Catwoman storyline. And I'm trying to be vague. I'm trying not to spoil anyone at this point.
Well,
I don't think me saying brood faster.
You completely ruined it for me. I won't go watch it.
That is my aging 40-year-old opinion about this the Batman.
Get to the point.
A lot of the elements of the Batman were the story.
There are some of those moments,
a lot of the elements of the Batman were the movie I was wanting right after The Dark Knight, because I felt that when the Joker killed off a lot of the mafia and all the mobs, there was going to be a big void there, and I thought, okay, this is perfect for the Penguin to come in. Like, I'm filling the void, and then so a lot of the things that were happening in this movie was like, this would have been perfect, for the third of the Nolan trilogy. And then, you have the Riddler saying like, okay, the Joker took care of this. Now I'm cutting the heads off of the top, of the actual political structure.
It would have made sense too, because I know that they had originally wanted the Joker to be the person presiding over the justice in the anarchy-ridden Gotham, basically, in the third movie, right? The Dark Knight Rises. So, right? Is that what?
Dark Knight Rises,
yeah.
I want my Joker to have a mustache and just paint over the mustache.
I mean, the thing is about, like, I think every superhero movie at this point, is that it really is all about the villain and the villain's story and the villain's motives, because we've really kind of established all of these, and I'm glad. I know when superheroes movies first started coming out, it's like, oh, I already knew the story of Spider-Man, or I already knew the origin story of Batman or Superman. I don't need to be told those again. And in fact, those storylines I thought were like the most boring. So really we're now in this, this golden age here where as superhero movies come out, it's not always about like okay, I'm going to spell out how the origin. Now, for some of these other, superheroes like Ant-Man or, the Marvel treasure trove of superheroes, it is kind of cool to have those origin stories. But
that's why I liked the new Spider-Man so much, because it doesn't say we're throwing away all the Spider-Man movies from the 2000s. It's like, no, you don't have to watch them, but it makes it better if you do, because then you can say like, oh, that was just in another timeline, or but it still brings it
and they could play off of each other, the lines or the moments of characters that had lost loved ones, could play out in a more dramatic or meaningful way that could just anyway, I enjoyed Catwoman. In fact, maybe my favorite origin story of Catwoman. And I mean, trust me, I was like a teenager when Batman Returns came out. So, I had a huge thing for Michelle Pfeiffer and Black Leather. But I still liked this Catwoman maybe the best. So
it's interesting. It's an interesting take for sure. I mean, I would probably put her at second best. I still think.
Sure. Well, we know that Nick chose the white girl.
Full more Catman.
If you like Michelle Pfeiffer, you gotta watch Hollywood Nights.
Okay.
It's got Tony Danza in it.
Everyone out there, Jack just endorsed Grease 2. He wants you to check it out.
No, it's not Grease 2. It's its own separate movie, Hollywood Nights. It's one of those coming of age movies back in the. It's got what's Fran? What's her?
I only like the Hollywood Days. Hollywood Nights just so long, so oppressive.
Any Bob Seger song, I'm gonna veto. So sorry.
You're gonna veto? That's an interesting line that you draw in the sand. I wanted to tell you about this event funny incident that happened over the weekend. But my family and we went bowling on Sunday, so it was fun.
Wear jeans?
I definitely didn't wear sweatpants.
Okay.
And I didn't fall on my ass, so thanks for asking.
You gotta wear shorts when you're bowling. It's too hot.
What? Shorts? What?
When you're bowling?
How much sweat are you using in the bowling to need the sweat?
I'm sorry. I grew up in California. I apologize.
So you're left-handed. So was your right butt cheek sore the next day? Because it always happens with me when I bowl. Because
your butt cheeks are sore.
My one side that I lean on.
Where the hell are you bowling at?
Because when you're doing proper form and
thanks, Jack.
And you actually stride and I don't know, you're using that butt muscle.
The butt muscle. The butt muscle is what you're using. Okay.
The gluteus maximus.
No, I mean I've had some moments where my left side has been sore for sure.
I bowled for years. I don't remember my butt ever hurting. It's got a
pull. You're bowling in a different way, I think. You're not just taking the ball and just kind of rolling it down the middle. You're using. Do you have the ball hit the back of your ass? What I mean,
you guys are asking me.
It's like a shot.
Because a lot of times you'll hit. I mean, I'm sure anyone who's bowled a lot has done it. You hit your ankle. You bring it in, and that hurts like hell and knocks you on your ass. So, did you do that?
No, I've never fallen down.
I grew up in San Diego. That's all we wore were shorts. I didn't have long pants.
So John, the retired guy, says, I grew up and live in California and never have bowled in shorts.
Now
he also has never bowled before, ironically.
Yeah. Well, California is like three different states. You have Northern California, it's freezing there, right? San Diego's seriously, you never wore. I can't remember how many times I wore long pants. Yeah, that's true.
They tried to break it up into 6 states, 4 years ago.
Yeah. Well, at least they should break it up into at least 2, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, we used to always bowl in shorts.
Now, if you broke it up, obviously you'd go north-south, right? So.
Well, no, if you break it up, like if you look it up, like the California 6 states map, it actually is done pretty well. And like you have the northern section, which is like just that part, because it is kind of its own thing. And then you have like the whole southern coastal area is like one state. Then I forget what they call it's like basically all of San Diego County and I think Riverside County are like the two, like become its own state.
Oh, okay.
And then you have like the desert area, and like because it's a lot of different cultures.
So because you could have the desert area as well as the Sierra Nevada, section.
Yeah, the Sierra Nevada. Yeah, it was like it's one.
I've always thought they should divide California into two states, from Oceanside, where Camp Pendleton area is, down, and then everywhere else up, just fuck them. So, but that's how I look at California. Nothing really exists past Oceanside. So
okay,
maybe Anaheim, because you do have Disney World. I mean Disneyland.
Maybe you can get it right, Jack.
No, I fucked up because I've been going to Disney World all this year. I did not bowl in Commandos. I did bowl without socks though. But I had my own bowling shoes, so it was okay.
Thank God for that.
They were my own bowling. I didn't rent shoes. I
were you top bowler? You bowled a lot. What are you throwing down there? You ever bowl a 109?
I had probably bowled a 109. Yeah.
You ever bowl a 235?
I bowled. I think the highest game I ever bowled was a 257.
Wow. That's something.
I was very inconsistent. I was very inconsistent because I was great at spares, but I think I was not good at strikes. I did have 12 strikes in a row one time. I had 7 to end a game, 5 to start the next game. But it
damn. I'm typically like leaving one pin, So, and since I am Nick, you're right. I am left-handed, so. Typically the left lane gets knocked down and the right lane, somehow I never quite, I don't have a solid hook, I'm not, we're there and, this is Sunday morning. So but the music is it's really loud and it's really obnoxious. It's
in a bowling alley.
Yeah. They're playing a mix of rap and country. And by the way, there is some rap that I listen to. There's very little country that I listen to. So
you bigot.
Yeah, well, I don't really give a shit about country music. In fact, I really don't care. I don't care about how beer has never done you wrong. Okay. Fuck that song.
I like my beer.
I haven't listened to country in 25 years.
And fuck the person that chose that song. So at some point we're playing two games, by the way. So I was like, we noticed the jukebox, and I was like, I went over there and I like typed in a couple.
Did you hit it?
No, but I gave my.
Did you rock the jukebox? Don't rock the jukebox.
Hey!
I rocked the jukebox and then some. So
play me a country song.
We basically played a bunch of music that has probably never been played in that.
Get your dick out of the jukebox.
Could you not talk? Can I finish? Can I finish? Oh, you muted yourself, Chris? Way to go. Thanks. Anyway, so as a family, we picked out a bunch of songs that have probably never been played in that bowling alley, probably never will be played again. And I left him with a little gem, Nick. I think you would appreciate this. Sad-Eyed Lady of the Lowlands, which is an 11-minute long song. We did not stay to hear this, but I just imagine, if you will, and if you haven't heard this song, you can look it up. Sad-Eyed Lady of the Lowlands. Just imagine trying to bowl to something that has the speed of with your mercury mouth and your missionary tongue.
You gotta do the Bob accent, man.
Sorry.
Missionary tongue.
Yeah, it is very the Dylan is heavy in that song. And so yeah, we were picking out some songs, and my wife's like, "What's the longest Beatles song?" I was like, "Well, we're not playing Revolution number 9, but I do think that would have been really funny
I used to play when I did that. I would play Echoes by Pink Floyd because that's 23 minutes long, and the majority of it is just sound. It's just like weird like loops and shit. And you're like, and I remember the bartender one time who knew me pretty well was like, "What the fuck, man?"
Some of our choices came on, and I could tell that like these people were not okay with our musical choices, and it was so awesome. And it was my daughter's birthday over the weekend, and so we were kind of celebrating for that. And so it was kind of nice for her to she got to pick out some of her music that she likes, and she's inundated with a ton of country music. Like even in her gym class, they play country music all the time, and she's just like, I just want to do the sports. I don't want to listen to the music. What are you go ahead?
Your hand
go ahead.
Question?
So this jukebox, how big is the bowling alley?
I don't know, 25 lanes.
Is it at each separate? Is it have like a?
No, it's a digital display jukebox, so it has you can pick anything digitally ever made. I was thinking a lot of people were playing Eminem, and
remember the restaurants you go to that would have it at the table and you put money into it.
No. This is like the entire place. So the entire place had to suffer and listen to Sad-Eyed Lady of the Lowlands for 11 minutes. And my joy is thinking of them at about minute 7, thinking, "Dear God, is this song over yet?" And knowing they still got 4 fucking more minutes. And whoever picked the music next was like, picking out like, just.
Did you go by, were you doing single lane courtesy or 2-lane courtesy?
What do you mean?
What, when you go up to bowl, some people want 2-lane courtesy. So you say you're on lane 12, you can't bowl till lane 14.
This place is pretty busy actually on a Sunday morning, so everybody's packed together. Okay. So the weird thing is that there was another couple that was kind of next to us, and they had their kids playing in that lane, and they just left. They just left, and they still had money on their games, so we allowed our kids to kind of play down their lane, and so it actually kind of freed up my son because he was getting so in his head. He was getting that sibling competitive. Like, oh, I better beat my sister. I gotta do better. So, and meanwhile, she's going down and just like, I don't care. Strike. You know what I mean? It's just like that total like not in the zone, but you're in.
So your
zone.
Son's like going, ah!
Yeah, pretty much throwing gutter balls after gutter balls.
Because I said this before, but Dale Warm Taffy is a really good bowler.
Oh yeah,
he has a really good. And we were on a team. It was my mom, another friend of mine, and Dale. We were called. Actually, the league gave us the name Loud Obnoxious because we were. we used to be because we all had we'd go by our prep names. I was Trevor Bradley Winsmeyer. Our thing was Winsmeyer.
I like how you have a prep name.
I do. It's Trevor Bradley Winsmeyer. In fact,
Treadley Bradley.
My youngest daughter was either going to be Nick, because Nick's your friend, Nick's your buddy. Nick should go to the one to go ball game with. If you've ever seen The Sure Thing,
right?
It's from The Sure Thing. But then it was also going to be Trevor was going to be but nah, we haven't even had Trevor as the name on my bowling ball. And people, because on the thing we'd put our prep names. And
did you ever make people kiss your ball?
I wanted to, but
sure, it was different.
But we were so loud and obnoxious. One person goes, "You guys are so loud and obnoxious. You're ruining it for everyone because you're so loud and obnoxious." So next week, our team name was switched from We're Winsmeyer to We're Loud and Obnoxious. It was good times because we were loud and obnoxious. So anyway, it was fun. It was trash talking and stuff like that. It just made bowling more enjoyable
for you.
Yeah. Nick, do you know the Iron and Wine song, "The Trapeze Swinger"?
I do.
My wife also played that song, which is 11 minutes long.
Yeah.
And slow as hell. She said, I know it threw off my game, but I didn't care because I was tired of putting up with everybody's country bullshit. So
Sherry says that Warm Taffy's laugh has the best laugh. No, nobody says that. Sherry, come on.
Well, we've tried to get him to come back.
Yeah.
But the lanes are closed.
We might be playing poker this week. First time in 2 years, but Warm Taffy has axe throwing that night.
Axe throwing. I thought you were going to say
I really don't think that he should be throwing axe. An axe.
Yeah,
but,
I see people do that, and it looks interesting. But I know that when I do that, because I'm just so goofy, that it's the minute I throw it, it's just going to hit weird and come right back at me. I'm going to be like, God damn it! And then the next thing you know, you guys are like, Nick, did you get a haircut? Like, no, part of my head. I'm Dan Carvey. Like, should have blue hair.
I do want to try it though, because my wife always says, I want to try that. I go, no. We'd have to have paramedics standing by. No,
I think with Nick's name, it's way too dangerous. Because I mean, if you get nicked,
yeah,
it was in his name the whole time. He got nicked, and that's how he died.
It's like you've seen that clip from the Tonight Show, Johnny Carson, when he has the guy that played was it Tonto on the Lone Ranger? He was married to I think he was married to if I remember correctly, Barbara Eden. I could be wrong about that though, but he throws the axe. They have a cutout. He throws the axe, and it kind of sticks up. And you've never seen it?
No, I don't think so.
You've never seen it? Well, he throws the axe.
Yeah, I haven't seen that single minute of TV.
Come on, that thing has been around forever.
Okay, so
it just kind of looks like it. It just looks like a like a penis. He's got the. He throws it. It's like. I wish I could share it in the thing. Anyway,
you don't know how to do that.
Sherry likes.
I'd have to find it.
Sherry likes precision knife throwing, not just knife throwing.
Let me see if I can find it.
Knife throwing,
and then I'll figure out how to share it.
Kim, your high score in bowling is still higher than my son's, so not bad.
Don't tell your son that. Let's see, YouTube.
My highest over the weekend was a 144, so
that's not bad.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. That was my second game.
All right, I found it's Ed Ames teaches Carson how to throw a tomahawk. All right, so let's see here.
I like that how now, Jack, what you do is you go down to that little button at the bottom and pick share.
All right, so I got it here. So where do I go? Share.
At the bottom. Not leave studio.
Do I go video file?
Yeah, whatever you have it open under. So you just click on where that.
I just made a copy. I have to download it.
Oh wait, shit! I just paid $79 for this clip. Well, there it goes.
This is why we need Chris, because Chris would be on this like flying on shit.
Do I download it? Do I have to download it?
No, you don't have to download it. Can you just open it? Can you just share it as a tab in your little thing? Yeah, like it'll say share.
It's on Safari, and I'm on
share screen. That's what you do.
Okay, share screen. Share screens is easiest for two monitors.
Share screen, and then down at the bottom there, and it says window or Chrome tab.
It says share. Okay, window. So I hit Chrome tab.
Sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Select tab preview. Mm-hmm. I don't know what's going on here.
I don't know what's going on there either. But we've got 10 people watching you do this, so it's really good.
I can't.
I only wish that we could see your side of the screen to see where you're not clicking, so it could.
I hit shared. You know what? I'll just post it on our Facebook page, and people can see it from there. If you want to see it, go to Jane Jack Facebook page. I'll put it. I'll do it right now. I'll just do it right now.
Okay, sure.
I had 6 deer in my yard today.
6 deer.
6 deer.
6 deer.
They like
Holy
bread.
cow!
I fed the mom yesterday an apple, and so they came back. They're pretty tame because like where I'm at, like no one's hunting them, and so they just kind of like hang out.
You know what? I'm going to send it to our Facebook chat. Maybe Matt can do it.
That'll make him work. Yeah.
See, there's this little button right here.
He is the producer.
Share.
I thought that's what Jack said. Like,
I hit that. It's a shared screen.
Share
it
screen.
says slides, video file, or shared screen.
Go to the share screen, and then the next thing is it should bring
put up your desktop screen.
It's there now.
Okay, I'll look it up. So go ahead, take over the show while I look this up.
I'm posting it right now in the Facebook page.
You know what's really going to suffer tonight is the names, because I've only worked on one name and it's not that great.
So can I just say something? If people don't understand that San Diego is cursed when it comes to sports,
when will they?
The lockout ended. Everyone's happy. They're going to play the whole 162 games. And then I wake up and I find out that Fernando Tatis had broke his wrist and didn't get it worked on for the whole fucking time it was broken. So now he has to have surgery. He's going to be out 3 months.
Oh my gosh. He could have been doing this the whole time.
Because he did it riding a motorcycle. I said,
Scottie Pippen.
I go, kid needs to grow up.
Yeah.
He's a tremendous talent, but you got paid $340 million to play, not do stupid things. I'm not sure my OnlyFans videos. Yes. I don't have an OnlyFans account.
You don't want to see Jack naked on the ice.
No.
It was cold.
It was, and that's part of the problem. I was in the pool. I was in the pool. So anyway, that sucked. I go, what a dick. He's just like, anyway. I know he's just a kid, but
that's what's funny. Is like, when you're a kid, you think, oh, I'm gonna last forever. Like this will last forever, and it's like you don't realize that you can be gone like that.
Well, he plays recklessly. I mean, he just gives 50%. I've been saying since this rookie season, all right, tone it back. You can give 90%. Yeah, you can do 90%. You're still better than anybody else in the game. So just tone it. But he doesn't. He's hurt all the time. But this is like, you gotta fucking be kidding me. That's it.
Okay. So here we go. So
everyone out here, we're finally showing the video Jack was referencing. It is in black and white.
So the trick is to keep your arm extended, and that way you.
Can you guys hear the audio from this?
Yep.
Keep your arm extended and put only one revolution on the once around.
Fascinating.
And that's Dana Carvey playing Carson.
That's indefinite. All right.
Sure it is.
Oh, right.
I like that the cartoon of the man has his hands all the way out.
Yeah.
So
Carson,
he got him.
That's pretty good.
You might want to stop it now because he says something that's probably not appropriate.
God, look how young Johnny Carson was.
Yeah.
Well, younger.
So now you've seen it. Now you know what I'm talking about.
I'm sorry, officer. Was I sliding? I had two triple boom booms at the. I can't remember what it is. I'm trying to remember. Carvey does this thing now. It's just like he's done it a lot, but he'll do this Carson impersonation of him being pulled over for drunk driving. This is the premise, and he has.
Carson did get pulled over for drunk driving.
Yeah, but it's like, Carson's one of his favorite drinks was a grasshopper.
Did have a beard.
Yeah. He liked grasshoppers, which is kind of a funny name, and so he likes to do this funny.
Like a fuzzy. What's the drink you like?
I'm sorry, officer. I had a fuzzy daiquiri with a twist at the Lucky Leopard, something like that. That's
I guess Carson was a mean drunk.
A lot of people
and the mob was going to kill him one time. Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra. I guess this this comedian. What's it? I can't remember his name, but anyway, he has in his book. He was telling a story about Johnny Carson. I guess Johnny Carson came into this where this mob was hanging out, and he did something to one of the mob's girlfriends that he shouldn't have done. By today's standard, he'd be Me Too would throw him out, and the guy
said, the kazoo music.
Yeah, I'm going to kill him.
Slide whistle.
So Frank Sinatra got in there and kept this guy from putting out a hit on Johnny Carson.
And that's how he got into The Godfather.
It's like no.
Well, Ed McMahon used to have would they'd go out drinking every night, and I guess Carson was just a mean drunk, and I guess he got drunk really easy. Matt gets drunk on a beer.
Yeah,
that's Johnny Carson.
I mean, a lot of people that were like, I know John Lennon and Roddy Van Zant were that way. Like they were really nice when they were normal, and then, John Lennon was never really nice, but like he could be social and courteous, but like you get him a couple more, he used to like drinking Brandy Alexander's, and he said like after 2 or 3, said he would like the fangs would come out, and because like there is a famous story of him and I don't know, I'm not sure who he was performing, but it was him and Harry Nilsson were at the Troubadour up in the balcony. It was like the only certain people could sit up there.
Were they putting lime in the coconut?
They were just heckling the shit out of somebody, like.
Huh.
Well, Carson had he didn't have daddy issues; he had mommy issues. His mom was not a real nice mom. She wasn't a very loving person. And Kim says that the dog movie has won some awards. It can win all the awards in the world. It won't change my mind. The movie sucked.
Mine either. Didn't like it one bit. I mean, I get it. Like I said, I've said before, I get it. I get why people are giving it the praise, but I'm not one of those people.
Yeah, you got to entertain me too. If you're gonna make me sit there for an hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours, whatever it was, 6 days, I got to be interested in it. It just didn't grab me. It's a Western, and I'm pretty easy to please on a Western.
Yeah, all he has to do is get some pleasure at a ranch, and he's good to go.
Exactly.
Lube it up, lube it down.
Move it out.
Keep the grit out of the sand and the lube, and you're good.
Exactly. You don't want sand in your lube.
The only Best Picture movie that some of the people that I respect that like watch them all the time that I have is Belfast. I have not seen Belfast.
Is Dune.
Well, Dune is a great movie, but like it's the first part, and so I can't see it winning.
I know. It's yeah.
Yeah, it's the same as like Spider-Man. Spider-Man was really a good movie, but it's not Best Picture worthy, Right. And so, but the only one that most people I've seen, like the ones I haven't not seen yet, they're like Belfast, like watch Belfast.
It would be really hilarious though, like William.
I heard that was a good movie.
Except I know he's not nominated for Spider-Man for Best Acting, but I do think it would be really hilarious. Somehow.
You fucking owe me this award.
like William Dafoe is winning like an award for his appearance in Spider-Man.
Best supporting actor.
Yeah, that's the one. That's
Michael Toon impression.
You saw Tropic Thunder, didn't you, Jack?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not DC, but I
no, it's not DC at all.
The only award show I might watch is Golden Globes because when Gervais is hosting, but other than that, I just don't care anymore.
Right.
I just don't care. I guess
I don't really care about that stuff.
I mean, it used to be like 1 billion people would watch the Oscars, and now
it's nothing now. Yeah.
No,
well, it's because one, they nominate like this year. I mean, 2021 was a really weak year for movies anyway. But it's like you nominate films that they don't even come out until December or January before the Oscars, and so people are like, I haven't had time to see it. And then when you do, you're like, really? This? And it's very political, and I don't mean as in like our political parties. I mean that the whole Oscars is political, and that you have to campaign with people with money in order to get nominated, and then it's so many greasing the wheels to even get nominated. It's just like it's all bullshit.
Well, I like when Ricky Gervais called the actors out.
Mm-hmm.
When he said, nobody cares about your this and that. Just get up here and accept your fucking award. Thank the people you have to thank and get the fuck off the stage. Basically, that's what he was saying. Yeah. Because you're all hypocrites.
Oh yeah.
and 99% of them are. I mean, I'm not trying to be a dick, but these are the same people that gave what's his name? Let's
not go down this again.
Roman Polanski is standing ovation. I'm sorry.
I know, but it's just like, how many times are we going to talk about Roman Polanski?
The only award I used to
until he's rotten in jail forever.
I used to Oscars were the only award show. The Oscars were the only award show that I still halfway respected up until a few years ago, because they usually get it right. They nominate stuff based on its art instead of like its commercial appeal. But then they started, saying like, oh, we're going it from 5 pictures now to 10. And then they're putting in all these pictures because they made money, but they're not really like great. Whereas in like, like the Grammys have never gotten it right. It's like,
right.
you look at every Grammy from the 50s on, and you see who won like album of the year, and you're like, really? That piece of shit? Like it's crazy.
Now, do you think they put in more movies because
they're trying to get more people to watch?
Yeah. Because okay, let's see. I'm sure people have seen Spider-Man. Let's put Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. Right. Oh, for sure.
Zero chance of winning, but like, yeah. And it helps them make money too, because then like you can say like when they release it on, well, of course nobody buys Blu-rays anymore, but like it would say that on the box, like Oscar nominated Spider-Man.
Oh, I'm gonna watch that because it was Oscar nominated. I wasn't gonna watch it before.
Cindy and I used to pick movies like that. We go, oh, wait, that thing won best. I never heard it.
I would laugh out loud at you, Jack, if that's the reason why you watch Spider-Man Far From Home. You're like, well, it was nominated.
No, I said we used to.
Yeah.
Used to.
Sorry, I was busy coloring in.
Yes!
I wanted to finish up with mean drinking. Like I said John Lennon, but like, Ronnie Van Zant.
We just lost him on that.
Ronnie Van Zant would get so drunk he'd freeze.
He got so drunk he lost his internet.
So, that's his ghost is not letting me talk about it. But like apparently he was one of the nicest people in the world, like everyday guy. But when he started drinking, he was one of the meanest motherfuckers around. And like that's the reason why Ed King, who co-wrote Sweet Home Alabama, again, the other great songs. That's why he quit. It's because like whenever he would start drinking, he would just yell at him, like just insult him. And then the other guitarist, the only like original member that's still alive, like one night he just basically they were just drinking, broke a bottle over the counter and just started stabbing his hands. So it was like, you're not gonna ever fucking play guitar ever again. It was like, what the fuck? Just because he was just that way. He was just mean.
I'm mean sober, but I'm a happy drunk. I get nicer as I get drunk.
Wait,
really?
You're mean sober? The whole time we've been podcasting? So
yeah, I'm more of an asshole sober than I am drunk. Of course, I guess people it could go either way.
The whole time we've been podcasting, you've been fucking sober?
Yeah, I'm sober today, just drinking water, man.
Jeez.
I'm pretty much the same. The filters start to come off a little bit when I get drunk. As in, like, just, I shouldn't say that. Fuck it, I'll say it. Like that's kind of my thing.
Yeah, I got to catch myself a lot when I'm, it's like, okay, I can't say that. Even though I'm just joking, but you can't say that. So I had one, but I'm not going to tell it now. But
good. That would be great. I would appreciate that. So I'm not producing this out of here. Okay.
It was a fun night, but anyway, it was Vegas.
It was Vegas. It was another time. I had too many women on my mind. So
Mike would never drink and podcast.
Yeah.
I think he would. Would.
You got to talk to these
people. I think he has, hasn't he?
I'm pretty sure he's been.
Like he always has a beard. He always had a beard, didn't he?
He
sack of shit.
What a goober. What goober? Like, who calls people that anymore?
So it wouldn't be good.
I'm just imagining like some weird kind of like how goober surpasses and actually becomes like a foul term. Like, you mother goober, you.
Well, most people
goober you.
Do younger kids today know that's an insult? To call someone a goober?
Probably not.
No.
It's like, I think I told you guys that like maybe 6 years ago, 6, 7 years ago.
I don't think so.
As an adult, how often do your parents yell at you ever? It doesn't really happen, And my dad did something just really goofy, and I called him a doofus. And I was like, you doofus, just kidding. And he lost his shit on me. And because it triggered some word, like somebody called him that when he was a kid, and I was like, of all the things to call someone, that's what did it, and just lost it. And I'd never seen him that irate at me ever.
Well, I would be, if you called me a doofus, I'd go through the screen and kill you.
This is so fast forward, 20 years in the future, and my son, he's older. We're working on something together, and he just jokingly calls me a sheep fucker. And I snap. I just lose my shit.
Hey, Dad, me and the wife were pregnant. We're gonna name her Gretchen.
No, any name. I forbid it. I forbid that name. I'm sorry, but it's like my wife really like the name my wife's
is that the name of the episode? Goat fucker.
Goat fucker.
That's not what I said.
Sheep, whatever you said.
I think not having it something humiliating to me, like last week's was perfect. The podcast, it was so generic, made no sense.
After I put that in there and. I liked it because we were talking about the Batman the whole time.
Oh, right.
So I was like, the podcast.
The podcast.
It kind of was like mirroring.
That fits. I like that.
Well, it's funny because I was thinking the other day is all the we're talking about now is all the things growing up as a kid that you didn't want to, you didn't want to be the nerdy kid. You didn't want to, even though I was, but I had to hide it because it was a different time. You couldn't be the nerdy kid.
Right. Yeah, no.
I got beat up enough. I was like, okay, I don't want to be.
I'm not gonna like Spider-Man. Okay, I don't care what
you can only hide it so long. But it's like nowadays, it's like all those years I stressed over it. I was like, you can call me whatever you want. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. It's funny how you grow out of it. But it's different times though. Being a nerd is in. I mean, it's you can be, a nerd type person, and it's like I'm not trying to be mean, but because I am a nerd, but. I try to hide it.
It's like a Cobra Kai. The kid, I don't know his name, but he's the one that's the awkward one that didn't want to fight. Like the nerdy one that's friends with Hawk.
Yes. Yeah.
Like my nephew, for some reason, likes him the most. I'm like, why? I was like, I don't get that. Like of all the characters, because he's the quitter. He's the win. Like even in the show, it's like it'd be one thing if he was awkward and nerdy, but actually tried. He is trying now on the show, but at first he was just like, I want to quit everything. I was like, no.
Because he wasn't a fighter.
Yeah, he wasn't a fighter. Yeah,
he's a lover. We find out, but he's not a fighter. Right. Spoiler.
Oh, the nerdy kid gets some.
Yeah, I forget who.
Where you been?
Yeah. I gave up on that show.
Really?
So. Yeah, I got bored with it, and I just didn't finish watching it.
Yeah, the first two seasons are really the good ones, and it's kind of gone a little bit.
And I tried to go back into the third season, and I just was having real difficulty with it. And then I'm trying to remember what I've been watching now because I feel like I've been falling asleep.
Dimitri, thanks, my Mike.
Dimitri, yeah, that's right. I started watching this Viking show on Netflix, Valhalla.
Yeah.
Valhalla.
The Vikings, man, they're just you don't fuck with them. Just gonna say that.
I didn't even give it a chance because a friend of mine was like, "Oh yeah, Leif Erikson's back in Sweden or Norway." I'm like, "What?" I was like, "That doesn't even make sense." It's like Leif Erikson was Eric the Red's son who went to. Yeah, I was like, are they even following the correct history? Like, what the fuck?
Well, he's technically
Valhalla.
He's a good fighter, though.
And
I just don't like it when they bastardize history. Not saying Leif Erikson couldn't go back to Norway, but it's just one of those things like, what are they basing this off of?
They do mention
part of my heritage. Like I've done the 23andMe, like Swedish. The Nordics, like that's my blood. That's me.
That's why I don't want to see you with an axe.
That's why you don't want to see me with an axe.
No.
I think we talked about this too. It's like, it pisses me off every time I see one of those Viking river cruises because it's like, you don't give me an axe. You don't let me go randomly to some of the towns and plumage for gold.
So you don't want to be sitting in your room. You want to be rowing the fucking boat.
I don't want to be rowing the boat.
No. You want the experience. If you want the experience, you got to be row. row.
If I'm rowing the boat, then I better get the full freaking Viking experience. I better get some mead constantly. I better be able to get out of the boat and just raid and raid and raid.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but you can't have
grabbing cash,
Garrett.
grabbing grass, grabbing.
Yeah, so you got to.
You women, how much for you women? Sell me your children.
Because I would be like, okay, fuck, we got sails. Why don't we just put this? Why am I rowing this shit? That's a long way to England. What are we doing here?
What are we doing?
They had sails, Jack.
That's what I'm saying. Put the sails up. Why am I row? I'm not gonna.
Sometimes
when we get there,
sometimes the
let's
wind's
go fight.
not
I'm tired.
blowing.
I'm tired.
That's why you got to row, because you got to get away from the.
But am I
shoreline?
Right though? Am I right though? Is you do all that rowing, you get there. How are you gonna fight?
Do you build muscle?
Row.
They skip leg day. They constantly skip leg day, but the upper torso, they're jacked.
That's true.
Well, and then they have those oars that can basically just do battle with those, So,
but not if you. I've been rowing for 700 miles. I can't pick it up. Can we wait a few days? Can I get some? Can I get a protein shake to get my body back in shape again? I don't know. It's rough.
Can I get a vitamin water?
And it always cracks me up in these things when they're all fighting.
Can you pass me back the sheep?
Yeah, Matt, we're going ashore. Man.
I'm just imagining like first class in the Viking, cabin.
True.
It's just like.
Well, so. You watch these fights, you go, okay, how much friendly fire is there? Because you're just throwing these, swords and all this.
Oh yeah, like that guy's got like a brown, bear rug on. That guy's got a brown bear rug.
Yeah,
I don't know.
How do you know who you're fighting? That
guy's got two horns. That guy's got one horn.
Yeah, I think that the whole and you have women fighting too, which is equal rights.
She's got two horns out front. She's
all right. She's got two tassels. She's with us.
Okay. Two tassels, Magoo. That's my girl right there. So.
I'm sure that wasn't politically correct. But
which part?
The whole thing.
The whole thing. Come on. I'm from Sweden. Yeah. That is my lifeblood. And with a little bit of Portuguese, just thrown in for spice, just like a little bit of flavor.
I'm Swiss, so I wouldn't go fighting. I'd be like, I'm just using the toothpick and the knife. That's all I'm. Or the scissors. I got
80% German in me that wants to analyze shit.
That's why you're the producer. You took over the show.
That's why
you had a blitzkrieg. You just wiped us all out, and then
I slowly worked my way through the canal of the sports talk with three stupid guys all the way to the pinnacle of the Ramble Cast After Dark. This is it. Yes. This is where I take over.
Colt McCoy. Really? Did Colt McCoy really get 7.5 million? No fucking way. From who?
No, just 750. You got 750?
Well, no. Mike said Colt McCoy. Oh man, that guy. Again, he's not a straight shooter. That's all I gotta say.
Sorry, Nick. We totally interrupted you.
And I can't remember
you froze. It wasn't our fault.
No, I didn't freeze.
Oh, well.
Scooby Dooby Doo.
Jack Black. Scooby
Dooby. Germans. Is that why you don't like Mexicans?
Seriously, enough. I have nothing against Mexicans at all.
Hey, he didn't say it by name.
Yeah. Okay.
Am I right?
Well, on that note.
Fuck. Oh, maybe it's about Vikings or some shit.
Hey, did I tell you what my granddaughter did something a couple weeks ago? I forgot to tell you.
I hope it doesn't involve your favorite Mexicans.
Well, she's my only granddaughter.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you had what do you got? You got three boys and one girl?
3 boys, 1 girl, and another boy on the way.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, I know. It's like, anyway, so she came up to me a couple weeks ago, and she goes, "My baby is sick." I go, "Well, go take care of her." and so because I was doing some other stuff, and I come back in this chair. She has the headphones here, and she has this elastic thing around the baby's right here.
Gave an IV?
An IV, and she's got it sticking over here. She's got it in a blanket. I go, I didn't see it till later that night. I went, what the hell is this? I go, oh, she basically took care of the baby. I go, where did she learn that?
Yeah.
So anyway, I just
that is pretty interesting. I mean, she was given
the darndest
care.
Things.
Yeah, she just had this and this and all this.
Maybe are you sure that it was an IV and not like shooting up?
It could have been heroin. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Hey, go take care of this baby. Okay.
And now I'm in trouble because I've tried. I try not to cuss because my youngest grandson's saying, because I always say, because he makes such a mess. I was, God damn it, Hayden. And I got a crook because he says, God damn it. So I do this like where I'm mad. I go. So now my granddaughter goes, when she's mad, she goes. So now they're telling me I can't do that. I go, what the fuck? What the fuck? Yeah. She goes, well, she needs to learn to use her words. I go, I use my words, I get in trouble. What the fuck?
You just start substituting like a slide kazoo or like a yeah.
They still make those?
Every time you're mad, it's just like like so.
I go, ugh.
Mother. You just make a duck call every time you want to cuss. It's just always like a. I guess,
for people getting free daycare,
I
think you need to stop.
Exactly.
There you go, Jack.
That's fuck it. You want me to start charging you?
You know what? I think if you dress up like Daffy Duck and just spend the whole day going. And just like go off on them as Daffy Duck. I think that would be, or Donald Duck. Sorry,
Donald Duck. I knew what you meant.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, so no,
that's all you have to do.
And then it's like you got to give them more fruit. I go, well, what am I supposed to do? Force feed them the fruit? Either they eat it or they don't. What do you want me to do?
You take care of it with the IV, man.
I guess.
I think she's showing you.
I don't know. It just cracks me up. Anyway. That's my story.
No, this is beautiful, man. This is the most beautiful thing I've ever heard.
I don't know. I had to take. I took the sandbox away from today because they were throwing sand all over the place. And I said, "Hey,
it does get everywhere."
And it's just like sand was over here. They're in the garage, and the wind was blowing too, so it was getting all over them. I said,
"Just gets everywhere."
She got mad at me because I taped the sand up.
That's what I hate about sand. It gets everywhere.
It's coarse. It's rough.
Anyway, I'm done.
None of y'all responded to that in the Owen and Brew chat. That picture I sent had me laughing for 5 minutes. That was a few days ago.
Okay. Where I don't have access to the Owen and Brew.
So basically, it's a picture. It's a picture of when Vader and Obi-Wan meet in the Death Star in Episode 4, and instead of Obi-Wan, bringing up his lightsaber, he yells "pocket sand" and throws it at Vader. It's like no, and because like
that's how you want to fight though.
That had me laughing so hard because it's like he knew Vader's weakness. Sand, no.
Yeah, I wish I could have got that one. That's funny.
It was good. It was.
It wouldn't be a Ramblecast without a little bit of Star Wars talk. Jack, have you seen the trailer for Obi-Wan Kenobi, and do you plan on watching it?
I do plan on watching it, but I haven't seen the trailer.
Okay. You haven't seen the trailer, okay?
I saw the bus, but not the trailer.
The bus.
Trailer bus.
Oh, gotcha.
It was the closest thing I could think of off the top of my head.
Before we talk about Kenobi trailer, real quick, did you see the image for the next Batman movie? It's going to come out.
No.
Yeah. So here it is. So.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
Basically,
it gets darker and darker.
Darkness is spreading.
No, it's just a meme that I threw up there with the progressively darkening of the Batman. Anyway, no, the Kenobi trailer. I was looking forward to Chris being on tonight so that we could talk about it.
He's here. I'm here.
I almost texted you guys last night because I'm on spring break, so I feel like I have like a pep in my step a little bit, not having to teach for the week, so.
Oh, so you're off this week?
Yeah, just for 2 days, but it's still enjoying every
no
every
new models this week.
No new what?
No nude
models? No, that's next week. We start the figure drawing sessions.
Really?
Yeah, but no nude models.
Can you do a Zoom? Can you do a Zoom on that?
It is not going to be nude. Oh. They are going to be fully clothed.
Oh, wow.
So
all right, never mind.
Yeah. You at least have them in Roman or Greek robes or something. Have all the flowing of the robes.
I can see the artist now. Yeah, I signed up for this class to draw people fully clothed. Yeah, this is great.
Really great spandex.
Nice shirt you got there.
Leaves everything to the imagination. I can get better quality on my Pornhub account.
Can you take at least the coat off so we can know?
Can you decode the coat?
Your Van Halen t-shirt and your mullet.
Miami Mike says the Obi-Wan trailer looked solid, but not as good as the new Rescue Rangers.
So I'm holding out for Tailspin.
It looks like they will show some of the characters from Tailspin in Rescue Rangers, I believe.
That'd be cool.
So, what could we say about the Obi-Wan trailer?
The trailer, of course, looks good. That's its whole point. I'm always a little cautious because they need to hit a home run with this because it's.
But don't you think they know that?
You look at Disney Star Wars' record right now. They're not that good. Because really, Rogue One is really the only.
Don't be besmirching Rebels because I love that show. Rebels. So Rebels, I think, is a high point. You have Rogue One.
I'm not into the series yet.
Right.
I'm talking about Rogue One is the only broadly accepted film as a success. Like the rest of them are controversial or can be, but Rogue One's their one that people are like, yeah, that's a good one. And then you get to the series. If it's not Filoni, then it's not that good. So it's I don't know, but
if it's not Filoni, it's not that fun.
It's not that good. But yeah, Filoni. Yeah.
Is that a Swedish accent?
I don't know. It's a Swedish Italian, which I apparently can't do because I don't have Italian in me.
And Matt, do we have an official episode count yet of how many episodes?
I thought it was 6. I thought that's what I'd seen.
It was supposed to be a movie, and then they extended it, which is fine with me as long as they can fill the gaps good. Because I'm already reading all these things that.
Don't read anything. Stop reading.
I shouldn't. Yeah, I haven't read that much. But
stop reading into it.
But it's
no. I want to be surprised, and I don't want to go in because I don't want to. The problem, Nick, is, and I'm sure this happens to you. It pops up in my news feed with a headline, and it's and then I'm like, fuck you for writing that headline, and again, mild spoilers, but the headline that I read was something like, Vader and Obi-Wan to at least, to face off only twice in the series or something like that. And I'm like, I don't fuck you for even telling me that. I don't want to know how many times they meet. I don't want to know what they say to each other. I just want to go in with the trailer and maybe a second trailer, but that's it. That's all I want.
Yeah. I really don't see Vader being in it much. I just can't see how they could.
Well, and it didn't. That was one of the great things about Rogue One is that they didn't overuse Vader. Right. They used him at the same level as what A New Hope. So
right, and then because I think they even said that when Rogue One came out, it's Vader's best when he's limited. It's the enigma of Vader, and
and some of the things that they never paid off with the sequel trilogy is Vader's castle. It's just all of these things with Vader's castle. Saw it in Rogue One, but it was supposed to make an appearance.
But we'll get it. We'll get it. I guarantee we'll get it in the Obi-Wan series.
Yeah, we better.
I just have a feeling it's going to be more about the Inquisitors. And then Vader will be hinted in little bits of it. But
is what you were going to say the article that said something like they had to lighten up the writing on the show because it was too grim?
No, I love grim though.
I know. I read that and I was like, yeah, this would be right up Nick. Nick's gonna be sad that like this. Like
the darker the better for me. Like I want like that's
why
they
were. You know, this article was about like saying that they were apparently encouraged to take it for what it's worth, because
that's why
we've got still several months before this is coming out.
So I know Jack doesn't know who this character is, but that's why Ventress is one of my favorite characters, is because she skirts that line of really dark character, but there's a little glimmer of hope, in her, and like I like that she's evil, but she's not completely evil, But anyway, watching Jack during Star Wars talk is the best.
We can feature Jack if you want, while we talk Star Wars.
I'm doing Chris over here.
What really makes me laugh is that I would have thought for this time period with Obi-Wan that they would at least like put a little bit of dabs of gray in
but I think it's still supposed to be taking place.
It's 10 years before A New Hope, so it's like you look at the picture of him for the poster of this show. It's like, so in 10 years you're telling me that he goes from Ewan McGregor full brown beard to solid gray beard.
Deal with it. It is what it is. Yeah. Come on, just let it be.
Yeah, just let it be. Let it be.
The fact that we got young Luke in that trailer, though, that was the thing that got me. And I know Chris Doran, who was in the chat.
I'm pretty sure he was. I'm pretty sure he's imagining a Vespa when he's doing this.
I think he was imagining a pod racer like his fucking dad.
Nah, I'm pretty sure it's a Boba Fett Vespa. Yeah.
Nope. Anyway, I that part I was like, that was sweet. So cool. If they can pull on those heartstrings and make, I don't need a lot of Luke. Nobody does, You just need a little bit. What happened to Jack now? We're just seeing the back of this.
I know if it was me and if I was a writer, I don't know. Yeah. I know if it was me and if I was a writer on that show, I would have one quick throwaway line that if Obi-Wan ever visits the Lars homestead, that Owen Lars would say, "Hey, why don't you come by next week? We'll have a barbecue." Just to see if anybody would get the joke.
That would be awesome. Oh,
this is not the joke you're looking for.
Aunt Bruce, she's just grilling up some burgers back there, some bantha burgers. You want to come by?
Yeah.
Gonna grill up some bantha. Hey,
like them extra crispy. We're having them blackened later.
This show has gone on longer than what I thought, so we're gonna have to break me off a piece of that commercial break. And with that out of the way, we can wrap up with we had an email. We actually had a couple emails here. An email.
Two emails.
2 for the price of 1. Did
you say 2 or 1?
I just was joking by saying 2 for the price of 1. Oh. I'll start off with the first email, which has the subject line of Legos.
Oh, cool.
So Jack's already dead, DOA. So, and Chris will never hear this, so sadly. We'll tell him about it. Anyway, the email reads, "Hello, Ramblecast, you guys dominate. My kids are getting into Legos, and I'm thinking about how Jay would buy one set to play with, one set to save in box, almost as an investment. How do you know what Lego sets will appreciate most in value?
Oh, yeah.
Is it all luck? Is there any rhyme or reason to it? Riley. P.S. I totally see why Matt is the fan favorite. However, Nick played My Hungry Eyes request on the ukulele a while ago.
I remember that, yeah.
Nick is like 2 Lincoln jokes away from becoming fan favorite. But the dial-up connection is really holding him back.
As soon as Starlink gets more US, I'm going to switch to that. That way I can get at least 100, and then we'll be all good.
So Nick, you would probably have the best advice here for the Legos question.
Yeah, so for the Legos question is, if it's a series, that's usually you'll make money down the line with it. So like I was saying to Chris, with those Lego heads they're doing right now, they're putting out 4 per year right now, and they'll probably be on the shelves for 2. And as soon as they're done with, people who start collecting a series of things will want to get the entire collection. And so that's how you can make money off it. Same as like with the modulars, which is what I collect, which are the buildings. The buildings, they come out with one every January, and it's usually on the shelf for 3 years, and then it's done. And so it's anywhere from 100.
Sometimes it's only on the shelf for 2 or 18 months. And
True.
then the part price starts to go up. And
right.
To this point, and from what I've seen,
not the brickheads, Kim, the full helmets. The brickheads are little small ones. Mm-hmm. If you're a VIP member right now, there are the Spice Girl brickheads. They're only for the VIPs. So if you have the points to get them, those are probably worth something, but I'm not sure because Spice Girls were 20 years ago, so you never know if those will be worth. But they're only for VIPs.
And some of those sets, though, I mean, you really just don't know, what's going to go up in price. I think some of the ideas, the Lego ideas, because those are limited.
True.
And some of those are pretty unique, the themes and
And of course, like all the years that Jack and I and Jay and all the Lego exclusives from Comic-Con are worth a fortune if you never open them.
I never bought any.
Yeah, well, they're hard to get because you have to win the lotto first, and then it's so limited.
I would never win the lotto.
The last
I have a question though.
Yeah.
Go ahead, finish.
The last the 2019 Comic-Con, which is the last one before COVID hit, there were 3 exclusives, and the one that I remember the most, there was a Batman minifig in him in zebra print. There was just a Batman costume in zebra print, which was weird. $20, $15 minifig. It's worth $1,300 now. Now,
Jack doesn't believe this to be true. He's I'm trading in my Apple stock. This seems like a better bet.
Might as well. It's dropping like. But here's my question: with toy collecting being such a big business now, especially like you're mentioning Legos, has that priced people out of being able to buy Legos because Legos said, okay, these people are going to sell these things for 10 times the amount? Has that priced people out of being able to afford Legos?
Well, they're doing a good job right now, I think, of pleasing 2 demographics. Because, especially with Star Wars Legos, all the way from 2010 to roughly 2017, there was just one kind of we're making one kind of X-Wing, and there you go. Now they're kind of splitting it to where it's like, let me just give an example. But you'll have the kids version of an X-Wing, which will be $38 or $40, which they can play with. It's smaller. It's got nothing you'd really want to put on your shelf. And then you have the adult version, which would be $150, but it's super detailed, looks like the X-Wing. Yeah, for real. Legos are a tank full of gas. Both made of plastic, they're both made of gasoline. I mean,
petrol oil.
Oil, yeah. The full helmet. Okay, I'm just reading the comments for everyone out there. Sorry, Spice Girls, but I'm not a VIP. The VIPs are pretty cool, Kim, because every purchase you make either in a Lego store or on Lego.com, you get points, and every other week or so they put a VIP thing in the VIP section for the Lego.com, and if you want to get it, great. It just costs you some of your points.
Do they roll out a red carpet for you since you're VIP?
No, it's just a nice way of because I don't buy a lot of stuff at mom and pop shops Legos because I want my points. But then going back to collectibles, the Flowers series right now is one of the things that also will be worth some money, I think, in the future because they've done the bouquet that's out right now. They did roses before. They've done different ones, and those have not been out very long.
It's hard to get it's hard to get the sunflowers right now. So those have not been in stock, and so there are some items on Lego their site that you can actually, say, notify me when this is in stock. Now, if there is a specific set that you're looking at, if you're like, hey, I want to get on this Ghostbusters thing before it goes retired, right? You can sign up and say, notify me when this is available. I did this for the large Ghostbusters vehicle because I thought that was really cool. Mm-hmm. As soon as I got the email, it was gone. So some of those things, like, okay, this is going to be something that's
so you need like inside.
Or just ready to react and grab.
Run for Congress.
The modular
inside scoop, right?
The modular that they had just released, the hotel, it was like that. It was back ordered for quite a while. You couldn't get it, and then if they finally release an email or something notifying you that it's back in stock, and then you can jump on it. And I of course did that and got a hold of one. So. But the flower series, that you mentioned there's smaller packages. They're not expensive. They're only like $10, but that would be something like if you were interested in something that you could like purchase, hold on to, and then just wait, 2 years, 3 years and see what happens.
The ones that I'm not sure who the name of the emailer, but like the ones that are sometimes are valuable are ones that you didn't expect to be valuable because like a certain minifig that's in the package because they only made it for that set. So right now, with the new Obi-Wan Kenobi series coming out, there's only been 2 official Inquisitors ever released by Lego. Okay, yeah, you're still there. Okay, I was wondering if I froze. You already look at me. And so you had the Grand Inquisitor that was released in a TIE Fight Advanced set. And he is still not too expensive. I think you can get him for about $70, which I know is a lot of money for a minifigure. But like compared to the Fifth Brother, which he was in a very large set, he is around, I think, 120 or more. Just for a minifigure. But if you find the entire set though, it's like, well, I just buy the whole set instead of getting, so it's better just get the whole thing. But like now with Obi-Wan, you're going to see probably another Grand Inquisitor minifig, another Fifth Brother.
We're losing Nick, just like we've lost Jack.
But then like I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Sorry. I can see you guys fine. But then I forget what set it is, but like there's only been ever one set with Rex, who was Anakin Skywalker's second in command, his personal like clone trooper, and he is 150 to 175 just for his minifig. So it's that's like things like that. It's just like I can't believe this is worth this just for this little bitty thing.
And by this point, the next time they do release a Rex or Thrawn, who's also another highly sought after figure, I'm sure they will have different alterations or things that will make them just slightly different. Slightly different.
Yeah, it's like
sometimes the heads remain the same, but then the bodies, are painted different. Or the outfits.
It's like I own 2 pre-Vizslas. So if you're someone who likes the Clone War cartoons, there's only one set with a pre-Vizsla who was a Mandalorian. And his minifigure is worth about $150 too. It's like because like he was only in one set, and so it's just things like that. People who are diehard Star Wars fans want all the characters.
Nick's got some serious money in some Star Wars minifigs for sure. I've seen your setup and collection, and your display is really cool too.
And that was given to me, like the little black backboard thing I have. Like the guy that owns the mom and pop shop, some guy came in and didn't want it. He'd made it and was like, "Oh, like you're in here all the time. Do you want this?" Like, sure, heck yeah, I'll take it. And then I just put all my minifigs on there for display. I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool.
I did want to say something. I just read something on Twitter while you guys were talking. It's not confirmed, but it says Damon Lindelof.
Oh yeah.
They're reportedly working on a new Star Wars movie.
Yeah. And I know he'd pushed back on it originally because like it's a lot of pressure, But of all the people, I have faith in Damon to write something.
I thought the funny thing that you mentioned, Nick, was will he use Hurley's script, which would be a really funny.
Totally rewrite.
He's putting a Lost reference in there.
Oh God, yes, yeah.
You guys already talked about this on Bruce.
No, it was in our chat, Jack.
Our chat?
It was in the Ramblecast chat.
It's a very, very, very fun chat.
When was this?
With Owen and Bruce. Just us 3 and not you.
Was it an Owen Bruce? It could have been an Owen Bruce.
I think it
is. Sometimes I don't go back because, like I said, I don't care. I'm not privy to that one.
With 3 podcasters too. Just us and not you. All right, I got one more email to finish up this show.
I'm used to that.
This email is just titled.
This is a kiss ass email.
This email is just titled Matt.
It's a bullshit email. Matt wrote it himself.
I did not. I'll tell you who it comes from, but it writes in. It says, "Dear Ramblecasters, just wanted to write an email." Should I read it in a different voice?
Yeah.
Dear Ramblecasters, just wanted to write an email to say how great I think Matt is. I just assume that he's really breathy and kind of perverted. He's the funniest and best host any podcast listener could ever ask for in life. His art puts Van Gogh to shame. Please don't pick on him anymore. Semicolon, he carries the show every week. Let's all raise a glass to Matt! Exclamation point. Sincerely, Mr. M.I. Cough. Also, this email comes from none other than John Rodriguez. Thanks a lot for that. So, for sending that in, John, that was very, very nice. So,
speaking of, I know Matt's seen it. Like I'm kind of building a custom little Hoth scene right now from Star Wars. And most time you can go on Lego.com to pick a brick, and especially if they're white or black bricks, if they're pretty much common. They didn't have shit now. And like I had to get everything off of Bricklink, which cost me a freaking arm and a leg. And it's just for one section. It just pissed me off. I'm sorry, I don't want to spend money.
I don't blame you.
But like, when you're trying to build, because you don't just want the base plate, you want to have like a little bit of like snow buildup, because you want to build a trench. And so you want more bricks to build it up. And
we're losing
by 10 or 2x12. Those are not like a little 10-cent piece. Those are usually at least $1 per brick. And it's like, oh man, I need a bunch of these. It's like, oh fuck.
Yeah, I wish the pick a brick section on Lego was better. I wish they just
I don't know. I wish they offered everything. Like, why can't they offer you everything on pick a brick?
Like, show me a 2x6 by a white piece or whatever, but it's always just these rare odd things. And sometimes they'll have stuff on there and then boom, it's gone. And you're like, fuck, I should have picked that up.
Yep.
So anyway, enough about Lego talk. I'm sure
I could go on for an hour.
Shut up, Jack.
Jack's like, guys, we're approaching midnight and I'm still dealing with daylight savings time.
Did you see that?
Aren't they eliminating it?
The Senate just passed a bill.
They need to keep it
to
going.
Get rid of daylight saving times, but it's not due in the House for a long time.
Well,
that's the most important thing going on in the world today is daylight savings time. We gotta get that settled.
Yeah.
It would be one less fucking thing. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
But then Congress just gave them a 22% raise. So fuck you.
Because they're doing such a fantastic job.
I think it's more about inflation. We got to keep up with all the money that we gave out. So we just got to
I thought
they get more money, but the rest of us, nah. Fuck them.
Well,
is there a way that I can vote myself a 22% raise on this podcast?
I did. I already put that in. John has already said roll credits. Sure, we'll go ahead and do that.
That's just mean.
If you enjoy what we do, and why wouldn't you?
John doesn't apparently.
You've listened to us for 2 hours, and you really should have listened or watched something else. Join us next week, Tuesday. We should be back in the saddle again, 9:30 p.m. Daylight Standard Time. Send us your emails to rcadcast@gmail.com.
Once again,
rcadcast@gmail.com. Also, subscribe to us on YouTube. We are Ramblecast After Dark. All right there. I do not have the names because I was actually coloring them. So I only actually have one today, which I've colored in, which is Ed. Yeah.
Ed, it looks like vomit.
Well, no, it's like it's a spacey kind of cool psychedelic.
It's just what the different back. It does kind of look like. It does look like someone threw up on your.
Okay, well, that's not what I was going for. But anyway, just officially.
God bless you. Or bless you. I don't know what's PC right now.
So I didn't come up with names. Chris would hate me for this, but thank you, Tack, Eckhart, Ed, Joanne with the plan, Maggie the Magnificent. Ed? What?
Who's Eckhart Ed?
Eckhart Ed. I just Eckhart. I could say Tack from Tokyo or Tack from Paris.
Okay. I see what you're doing. You're just
I could say Rickhart, Eckhart, Richter, Scandal, Ed, the letter man.
That's sexist.
Thank you all for doing what you do. I've extended this way too long. This was a great show, guys. I think I had a request for.
It's one in a Lego.